Well, hello everyone. It's Kelly Ray with Kelly Ray Creates. And in today's video, we're going to be spray painting these dining room chairs. I'm going to show you how easy it is. So these chairs, I have a set of 4, they go with this dining room table. And this table, I just did a wood-like Pottery Barn finish on it. I think it turned out beautiful. If you're interested in how I got this look, make sure you check out this video here, and I will also link it below. So these chairs are super great quality. They're solid wood. They have this beautiful center wood panel that I just love. It's a cane back, textured like finish, and they're bordered with the little rivets. And the awesome thing about them is that it's on the other side as well. I think it's just a great decorative feature on these chairs. The thing I did not like about them is that they were super heavy. But because I have wood floors, I just put some felt tips on the bottom of them. And now they slide across the floor very easy. And these cushions are also in great shape. I've already removed them and I marked them with a number on the frame and the cushion so that I could put them back the same way. And for a little bonus, if you watch all the way to the end, I'm going to show you a very easy way to upholster these. I'm thinking a linen or even a beautiful velvet. Also, I have gone back and forth on the colors, and I wanted it to be a little contrasting, so I picked this dark gray here and this little chest I painted. This is Imperial Gray, and it has a really nice contrast against our wood table. I'm purposely not showing you the dining room because that's going to be another video, so please like and subscribe so that you're notified when I put out that dining room video makeover. All the pieces that I'm painting right now will be put in this space and we'll have a big reveal. So anyway, with all that said, let's head downstairs to the basement and get these chairs painted. Okay, I thought I'd try spraying them here in my basement. Hopefully there's enough ventilation down here. I've heard this primer Zinsser Bin is great, so this is what we'll be using. It's pretty fresh off the shaker, so I'm just giving it a little stir. Primers do tend to be thinner than paint. I'm not going to thin it with any water, plus the sprayer instructions has recommended settings for primers, so we will see. Since this is new, I probably don't need to strain it, but it is a great practice to get into. Believe me, nothing will jam up your paint sprayer more than unstrained paint, so it's always good to do. I'm filling it to the max line, so hopefully it will do all 4 chairs. I'll tap the lid back on and move it out of the way. I'm using the detail finish nozzle here that it came with. We're going to attach it to the cup, nice and tight. Then I'll attach it to the gun. It's so easy. It's just a turn and a click. Sorry, I did a terrible job framing that shot, but you get the point. Just refer to the manual. Now for the fun part. As you can see, you got a dress for the occasion. I'm in my old post office apron, all tied up in a bow. It's been through many paint projects. Earlier, I set up the workstation by taping some styrofoam pieces I had laying around to the walls. And I've already scuff sanded the chairs with 150 grit sandpaper. I didn't work too hard at the sanding because of the great primer we're using. And now I'm just giving them a good cleaning to remove all the dust with my favorite cleaner, Crud Cutter. It took me about 5 minutes to get the settings right. I went by the recommended settings in the manual and adjusted from there. I did material flow medium to heavy, and air power was set at 5. And here we go. Look at how great and fast this is. I just love it. Tip: when spraying, hold the gun about 6 to 8 inches away from the piece and don't break your wrist. You're looking to achieve just a nice, even, light coat. I will be putting on just 1 coat of primer because it's supposed to be that good. Now after the primer has dried, I'm lightly scuff sanding using a 220 grit. I'll spare you cleaning the gun. Let's head over to the table and prepare for the color. So I'm so excited how the primer went on. I just love this little sprayer. So now we're going to get ready to do the paint down. This is my paint, and it is a paint and primer. Durable, long-lasting finish, low odor. Just going to open it up here. It's a beautiful gray. We're going to get that Pottery Barn Restoration Hardware look, hopefully, on the chairs. And then the cushions, I said earlier, but I'm thinking about just a natural linen or even a beautiful like velvet. I think so. I'm all excited to get to that part. Hopefully we can do that tomorrow. We want to get my little stir stick here and give this a good stir because it's been setting a little bit. I have used this paint on a little chest that I did. I think I showed that to you earlier, and I really liked the color. So it's going to go real well when I do that dining room makeover. And see how thick it is? And we're going to thin this down quite a bit. The primer that we put in here, I did not dilute it with water, and the gun sprayed it perfectly. So I'm really pleased with that. I'm so excited. If you don't have one of these and you've got some big projects to get done, you might want to go get yourself one. And especially on paint that's been used, not so much maybe on new paint, but I strain all my paint because the tiniest little speck in an air gun or a paint sprayer can be very time consuming to try to figure out why your gun's not working. And usually it's because you probably didn't strain your paint. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pour some in here. I'm gonna add a little bit of water right now. I kind of just eye it. I'm pretty good about knowing the consistency that I want. And oh, I've got some drippage here. We'll do up all of our cleaning later, huh? You're bound to make messes. It always makes a big mess until it looks beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and try to get all of this in here because I want to spray paint all of these this evening. It's probably about 6 o'clock, and so I've got 4 chairs, and I would like to at least get the 2 coats of paint on the chairs tonight. And then in the morning, I'll get up real early and do 3 coats of the polyurethane. And then if we get done early enough, we can go shopping for that fabric. Because unfortunately, I didn't think ahead and get that done. And I'm gonna throw a tad bit more water in here. Just a little bit. I'm gonna try to reduce it by about 10%. Well, maybe I put too much in. We kind of just make it up as we go sometimes. Sometimes I'm really good about reading directions and sometimes not. Whoops, you know what? I think I've got plenty of paint in there. That's what you don't want to do. It's water cleanup, so this one should be a breeze. Let me get this off my hands. I like the paint to be thinner when you're using a sprayer. I think you just get a much better consistency, a smoother, more velvety finish when you do a couple of really light coats rather than, you don't want to cake it on because, oh yeah, this is great. See that? It just barely pulls up when it runs off the stick. It did take me a while to clean out the primer because it was mineral spirits. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it was so worth it. That's what you need to do, is you need to think about all the projects that you have, and then you can just prime them all at once, gather them all up, and when you've got your sprayer out, especially when you're using an oil-based paint that requires mineral spirits, water cleanup is nice. It's quick and easy, so. And this paint here is water cleanup. I sure hope I don't have too much in there, but I guess we'll find out. Thank you, Wagner, for making such an awesome tool. So before my battery runs out, I'm going to show you how easy this is. So I've got my paint in here, and then we put this in, screw it on nice and tight. Of course, I'm not very strong. And then this just goes, I hope I got it all put together after cleaning it. You put it up, push it in, and then snap it. First time I did this and I went to turn it on and spray it, the whole thing just blew off. I'm like, oh my God. So I think we're all set to go. Let's go spray. Okay, it took me a second to get it adjusted, but it's looking really nice. And I have the top dial at 6, and I'm not sure because this is the fine little dial, and it's 1 to 12, but there's no numbers or anything on it. You just kind of have to guess. All right, I'm going to do these legs first, and this is the fun part. So all you do is just flick it on. Looks like I don't have enough product coming out. I'll do some more adjusting on the material flow dial. It was hard to see. Looks good now. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording that first part. But here we go again, and it's working beautifully. It took less than 10 minutes to do one chair. I'll finish up here with 2 coats of paint, and I'll get the poly on. So I'll meet you upstairs in just a bit. And here they are with 2 coats of paint and 3 coats of poly. What a time saver using the Wagner paint sprayer. I'm so happy with the color. It's going to look great in our new dining room. And as I promised, let's get to the cushions. I did manage to sneak out real quick and get the fabric. I found an upholstery grade fabric that feels like velvet with a linen look, just like what I envisioned. I purchased 2 yards. These cushions measure approximately 27 by 27 inches, and that includes the side depth as well. First, and the hardest part, is to remove the old fabric. All you need is a flathead screwdriver, a hammer, and a needle nose plier. I found works best. I started by prying up the staples with the screwdriver, then I pulled them out with the needle nose pliers. Some of the staples were more stubborn than others, so that's when the hammer came in place. I would set the screwdriver next to the staple and give it a whack to get under the staple. Then I was able to pull it out. This process went a lot faster as I got into the groove of it. For this part, you will need a staple gun and staples like the one shown here. I have already pre-cut all my 4 panels. I start by placing the fabric right side down and centering the cushion. I barely had enough fabric on the 2 sides here, but it will work. I start by placing a staple to anchor it in the center on all 4 sides. I knew this was going to be a little short on the sides when I purchased the fabric, but it was either that or buy 2 more yards, and I chose to deal with it. I then went to the corners. I had these 2 cutout corners on my cushions I had to play with a bit. When we get going, it does take a lot of staples. Remember how many we removed? I turned it over and noticed I pulled it too tight in a couple of spots. To fix, I just pulled a couple of staples out and loosened it up a bit. I then continued tugging and pulling. There is no rules here. Because I wanted this to be budget friendly, not purchasing more fabric, I didn't have a whole lot of extra fabric to pull with, but I'm determined to make it work. Because of the shortage of fabric, I see I have a little bit of rippling happening again, but I feel this will loosen up in time and won't be that noticeable, so I'm going to proceed. I was able to get the front corners to fold in very nicely. Sometimes the staples don't go all the way in, so I just tap them in with a hammer for a little bit more reinforcement. It doesn't have to look pretty on this side at all. Just make sure when you turn it over, it looks good. Once you've finished all the stapling, the only thing to do now is to cut off the excess, and voila, you're done. Okay, I'm going to go get these screwed onto the chairs off camera and show you the finished project. I will definitely be using this paint sprayer again for all my future projects. The time it saves and the finish it provides is just so professional. I added these fun little pillows for a pop of color and to bring it all together. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or think you're ready to try a paint sprayer. I'd love to hear. And as always, happy creating, and I'll see you back here in my next video.